Hey, hello, my friends. How are you? I know a lot of folks must be sleeping. A lot of folks are getting ready to go to bed. Wherever you are in this big blue marble, what's going on? What's going on? If you're catching me live, let me know where you're catching me from. And if you're gonna catch a replay, also let me know where you're catching from, where you're gonna be watching from. Okay. I know, yep, this is not my normal time, but I was just in my reading and I came upon, I want to deliver this because this is so cool. This is so interesting. I want to share this with you. Those other persons will catch the replay tomorrow. But I want to know how you're doing. It's been one heck of a week, my friends, but we're still here, okay? So, for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Yvette Garel, and we're going to be talking about tonight is practice session is over. The practice session is over. The game of life. Wow. I don't know, for many of you, you might still be practicing, but for a lot of us, practice session is over. We should have done that a long time ago. And so, practice session is over. It's time to play the game, whatever you're doing, whatever, whatever you're studying, you're working, doing your family thing. It's not practice time anymore. Oh, something's wrong with my eyes here. It's not practice time anymore. It's time, it's game on, right? Okay, so I was reading this book. Guess my nightcap. I like to read. But I was just inspired by this little section here, and I just want to share with you real quick. I'm going to get it away so the others can watch it tomorrow at the replay. The practice session is really over. Life's not a game. Practice time was available when we used to go to school, in elementary school, in middle school, in high school. Those days were practice session. We had no idea. We were being trained. We were being groomed. We were being taught. We were being channeled into different directions. And, we're trying to find our own identity, and we're trying to they're trying to mold us into a kind of person that maybe not necessarily who we wanted to become, but who we became. Yeah, so that was like proving ground, eh? That was where you practice and you rehearse and you do it over and over again until you moved into a different realm where whatever you are, right? Okay, so the time for practice is over. This is so interesting. The writer says practice time is when you are growing up. So if you're an adult, I guess it's over for you. I guess practice time is over for you if you're an adult, huh? Oh my goodness. He said while you were in school, that's where you practice. You know, let's break this down. We know how when we're trying to learn something, when we're trying to master a new skill, excuse me, a new craft, whatever it is, we practice. We practice. I remember when I was in elementary school and we had to learn, we call the timetables, huh? 2 times 2 equal 4. 2 times 4, and two, the 3 times and the 4, right up to 12 times. Yeah, and teacher, we'd have to rehearse it, we'd have to practice it, and we'd have to say it for our parents, and then we're gonna say it for the teacher when we go to school the next day or whenever. But we had to practice it. 2 2 is 4, 2 4 is 8, 2 5 is 10. We practice it and we rehearse it, and it's like repetition. Just and so we memorized it. Huh? Yeah, so we were in practice zone that time. And not only that, we got poems that we had to rehearse. You're in this rhetorical contest or whatever it is. And you gotta say it, or you gotta recite it. Yeah. Gotta recite, you get your little lines and you gotta recite it without looking at the paper. So that was when we were practicing, my friends. How about in life now, huh? What have you been practicing? You go to the job, there are some things you have to spend some time to learn. How about you doing your own business? There are some things you have to spend some time to learn. You got to practice it. You got to get it in your system. There are some good manners, good attitude, good table etiquette, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we got to we got to do it over and over and over again. Huh? So Life is not a practice session right now. It's a time for us to be playing that game. It's not really a game, but that's the analogy. It's time for us to be playing full. We are full participants in the game of life. So if you're an adult, if even if you're going to school or you're learning something new, yeah, you already practiced when you were younger because those were your formative years, and whatever you was ingrained in your system then, yeah, those are cemented, those are settled. Some things, yep, will change, but your basic core is going to be tough because your philosophy and your attitudes, your all those things that you developed and you held on to them so tight. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Your values, all the things that you hold dear to your heart. And so some of those things are going to be hard to let go. However, you still have to make some little shift and tweaks and adjustments and so on, regardless. When we were going to school, when we were learning the things, that's when we were practicing. We were preparing ourselves for the fullness of life. Now that we got to play the game, so you got to provide for your family, you got to provide for yourself. Now you're an adult, you got to get out there, do your thing, make your life whatever you want to make it to be, create those lifestyles and help some people along the way and give some things. And so those, now you get a chance to use what you've been practicing, huh? So the writer says, yes, it's the time for practice is over. It's not time to practice now. We should have some things well settled, have a direction, have an idea. This is where I want to go. But I know, yeah, we got some by default. We got some a certain percentage that even at that point it's very difficult to make a decision to know where you want to go. And so we know, and then we all are different individuals, and we all have different um, modalities of learning, and we all move at a different pace. So I understand, yeah. But for most of us, or for all of us, regardless of where you are, if you're an adult, you're not practicing anymore. You're supposed to be producing. Huh? You're a full participant in the game of life. In the game of life, and your opponent is anything that appears to be mediocre. The mediocrity of life and some things that, yeah, because you gone past that long time, huh? So you're supposed to be operating at a level, yeah. So a level which is the standard that you created for yourself, not for John created for you, Mary created for you, the one you created. So wherever you are, wherever you're operating, that's what you created. So now we can always build on that. We can improve, yeah, but we shouldn't go back. So what the writer is saying here, he says, we cannot afford to wait for the last few minutes. Cannot afford to wait. My mama would say, you can't wait until 10 o'clock. When the clock strike 10 or when the clock strike 12, you got to be ready before, huh? So you cannot afford to wait for the last 2 minutes. I'm looking at my little notes here. I had to make my little jot. I thought this was really interesting. He said, and let me give you a story. I was talking to this person, and even as an adult, kid never seem to. They've tried a number of things in their lives, and stuff didn't work out the way it worked. And so they're here, they're there, they go there. And so not spending enough time in a particular thing to see if it actually works. You jump here, you jump here, you jump, all over the place. They say Rolling Stone gathers no moss. Yeah. And so sometimes we have to give it time. When we plant a tree, I see my husband plant some tomato plants out there, and I swear that those tomato plants were never gonna grow. When he started to plant them, I'm like, oh my goodness, they look really like they were dying because they look really weak. The seedlings look really weak. Now we got some robust tomato trees out there, so really never judge a book by its cover. But he had to plant those little weak things, and they watered them and gave them the made sure the soil was well, mixed it and do all that good stuff, put in the manure, and now you got some robust tomato trees out there. So it took time. It took time, and not only that, it took some help, some nourishment, some care, some new nurturing, and all of that. So it takes time, and so we cannot afford to wait until the last 2 minutes. Huh? He said we cannot, excuse me, my goodness, we cannot afford, it's late, right? We cannot afford to wait until the last few minutes to discover that your game plan isn't working. That your game plan isn't working. The last 2 minutes. So we need to be ahead of the game. And how do we do that? Even um when people do have projects, right? All these project managers, big name, they do all these things. Even as they go along, they have to be able to, at certain points, they have to put in the risk factors. Okay, at 10 yards long, at the 5 yard, or maybe the 2.5 yards, or whatever, they have to think about, okay, what if, what ifs, this might break, that might not go. They have to mitigate all the risks. So they have to set it up. They can't wait until the thing breaks. Right. So I'm saying, can't wait. You gotta have something in place. Have something in place. So as we go through life, yeah, we know, yep, things happen, but I know it catches a lot of us off guard because we not have a game plan. It's serious business, my friends. I mean, think about the last 2 years. Yeah, we don't have a game plan, and so a lot of things catch us off guard, and we gotta work on that. A lot of us, I've been talking to a number of folks, and I mean, all kinds of situation. Now we know, sometimes it's just what it is, but sometimes catches us off guard, and so now we know we can do something about that. So instead of keep practicing, let's play the game, okay? So you can't afford to do that. You can't wait till the last minute. No, you gotta. You're driving down the road. Yeah, the GPS is leading you on. But what if when you get down to that point and there's a roadblock? You might have to turn back. Do you have time? Do you, who you have in the car? Where you going? Oh, you gotta be thinking, huh? He said. He said, this is what he uses. He said, you cannot afford to wait for the last few ticks of the clock to become intense about life's opportunity. Oh my goodness. And I know that it is just doozy sometimes because, we're doing things and we're doing this and we're doing that, or we are on the job and we don't have a plan B. We don't have a game plan. Like, just in case this happens, what will I do next? We have, you have a family, you have your hubby, you have your wifey, whatever, your fiance, your girlfriend. Gotta have a plan. Have a plan for yourself. Gotta have a plan for the family. You got children. Yeah, the grandchildren. What if, people talk about breaking generational curses, creating generational wealth, building, residual income, have a legacy. Yeah. But, I remember when I used to go to school in my younger years in college and so on, people talk about residual income. People talk about save your money. We save our money, residual income. That was not even a word. That was like maybe in other environment, but not in mine. But now residual income is an integral part of a person's planning. Now they want to leave something for their kids. They want to have something that so they work. Yes, they're gonna save, but they gotta have some residual income, some set up something that will keep working for them and working for them even when they just sit back and go on the beach. So you work once and the money and the investment continues to work for you. So now we work hard for the money, But now, yes, we work hard for the money. Yes, we work hard for the money, but we should be in a position now to let that money work hard for us. And we know all the different things that we can do with our money, the investments and so on and so forth. But we should be thinking that way. Can't wait till the last minute to start thinking, what if, so you might get sick, something might happen in your family, you might lose your job. Gotta be thinking. So tonight I was just doing my little nightcap. I want to, always do my little reading. I sit here, do my little reading before sometimes I go to bed. But this was so interesting because I'm like, I guess this is for me. I hope this for you as well. To remind us that we have to constantly be thinking. Okay, we in the Christian community we talk about the 11:59 hour. No, when we give up, right? We can't afford to do that. So he says, don't wait until the last few ticks of the clock to become intense about life's opportunities. So you might be in a grandiose opportunity right now. We don't know. Yeah, we still gotta have a game plan just in case. We talk about plan B. Yeah, that's good. But, sometimes we have a plan B, but we don't even know how to get to the plan B. We should have it all zeroed out. Yeah, plan it out. I'm telling you, my friends, it works. You got to get ahead of the game, right? Although sometimes we feel like we're behind, you might not, depending on where you might not be behind as long as you have a plan. As long as there's something that just in case, as long as there's a plan B, you can shift. As long as something happened, you have to relocate. Maybe your career doesn't, you can't get a job in your career field or you don't have an opportunity there. We are marketers and we are online. So the internet is all over the place, is everywhere for everyone. So that's different. But we're talking even to folks who are still in their career position and they're working the job, and sometimes they have to relocate and things happen, children, family members and so on, who parents, they got to take care of their parents. And so sometimes they have to move from one place to another, and they just can't find a job in their career field or nothing is available. They got to think about what else can they do. So can't wait until the 11:59 hour. Huh? Right. So what the writer is saying, he said we must challenge ourselves. We must challenge ourselves with a new level of thinking. Yeah. We have to challenge ourselves a new level of thinking. And people like to talk about think out of the box. Yeah, think out of the box, because every idea now, pretty much you can put to work. Think outside the box. So challenge yourself with a new level of thinking and drive yourself towards a new level of achievement. Not only think about it, but get to it, get after it, do it. Right? He said, we must have a new discipline and develop a new attitude. Now we know that attitude thing there is really tough, this attitude. And I'm talking about attitude in a positive way. Yeah, because yeah, you have to have an attitude, but what type of attitude, towards, against, for, but depend on, everybody's an individual and everybody's reaction and how we see things are differently, how we perceive things are differently. But that should not prevent you. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, somebody has an opinion, that should not prevent you from going forward, because now it's you. Huh? You have to deal with this thing, not them. So we got to impose upon ourselves a new discipline. New discipline. Be disciplined enough to say, well, this is not a game that's played out of just thin air. This is serious business, right? This is your life. This is your future. We got to look. My mom used to say, "Oh, I got to look in the crystal ball." I had no idea what she was talking about. She said, "Oh, I got to check. I got to go look in the crystal ball." I guess whatever she was doing was looking into the future a kind of way. Yeah, we will not look into the crystal ball now. We just gotta think future. You know, corporations and companies and so on, they have a 5-year projection. plan. They plan it out. So what's happening like 2023 is already planned out. Maybe 2024, 2025. So they know they got a projection, they got a futuristic view of what might, and they plan it out. It might not happen, but there's a plan. What about us? Something to think about. All right. So we're not only the attitude, but we must motivate and inspire others as well. So we might get it right, but what about the other persons? We need to help them motivate, help them to see some things in them first, and then even around them. Because a lot of folks, we see everything around us. I was telling, I was at the a conference the other day in Las Vegas, and I was talking to I was talking to one of the guru in the network marketing space. All right. And we were talking, and I said, and the conversation led me to remind him that our eyes are made to see out there, but our eyes are not made to look inside of us. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that we look out, we see everything around us. Huh? What about what are we seeing on the inside? When do we do the introspection? When do we do the reflection? So it's not the physical eyes that are going to be looking on the inside. It is that conscience. It is that spirituality. It is that it is that when you got to turn your thoughts on the inside. So yeah, we got our physical eyes looking out there, see the trees. I'm looking at the computer right now. I'm looking at yeah. But when I want to think about what's going on the inside of me, I got to tune myself in, and my thoughts have to align with whatever is going on inside. Yeah, but yeah, so it's hard. So this is the point. I say it's hard for people to look on the inside. It's very hard. It's so easy for me to look over there and say, you know what, that's not right. Oh yeah, you got to fix that. Yeah, I'm physically seeing that. No, but what about something that's probably on the inside? That inside, like in my mind, that needs fixing. No, if I don't fix it, or if I don't be in a situation where I can be um, influenced to get it, I don't have that because that's mine. You can't come and tell me to fix that. If I don't want to fix it, I don't have to fix it. But I should be influenced. I should be motivated. I should be inspired for the greater good. And so I would address that. But you cannot physically see that, right? My thought process, my mind, my thinking is gonna bring me to those places. Okay. And so yeah, I know. Yeah, I was talking to Ray Higdon. Yeah. And we had a great conversation about that. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So, but we cannot keep waiting for full proof opportunity. Cannot keep waiting for something to be foolproof. We're going to be sure of it. We're going to be positive that it's going to happen before we force ourselves to get serious. Wow. I think I'm a sleep well tonight. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. We cannot wait for, it has to be painted in gold and silver and have the frills on the side and all of that before we force ourselves to get serious, really, really serious. We can think that way, but it doesn't happen that way, right? Doesn't happen that way. So we say that the practice session is over. As adults, yeah, gotta be thinking. Gotta be thinking futuristic. Gotta be thinking, and we have to take others along with us and help them for those who need our help to, bring some things to their attention. So we don't get off guard. There's going to be a plan in place for something. And don't tell me you don't have no money, because it doesn't always take money. Doesn't always take money. Maybe it don't take money, no money at all. It takes you to your thought process. It takes you to kind of get deep down and to think about some things of your life and my life and your children, your family members, and those around you. What if, moving forward, life is a big game, and so many of us are participants. We play in that big game. But a lot of us like to sit on the sideline. A lot of us like to go into the stands and watch. Now, he said, we are all full participants. We are all full participants in the game, and we need to be playing the game. Playing the game. Not, we don't, I don't know about anybody who plays to lose. Hmm? Everybody plays to win. So your winning and my winning, everybody's winning is different. But you get in the game because you are going to win. And regardless of win, lose, or draw, you're still winning. Because the fact that you got up, the fact that you got in there, the fact that you start playing, the fact that you played, that's telling to know that you are on your way to win. You might not have gotten the goal, scored a goal, but you played. Yeah, and that's winning strategy right there. Getting in the game and play. So this big game of life where all of us are participants, we already had our practice session coming up. So if you are an adult, you went in it, even teenagers now, doesn't matter. As long as you have good enough sense that you know right from wrong and how the life is like really not, mama would say, a bed of roses. You've got to plant those roses anyway. They might not grow, some might grow, but you have to plant those roses. So even if life was a bed of roses, how did you get that bed of roses? Got to plant them. Somebody got to plant them. So we have to get up in there, do something, and be serious. I like what I'm going to end with this one thing that he said here. He says we don't have to wait for this foolproof opportunity. A lot of us wait. Oh yeah, I want to see how that goes before I do it. What somebody else is doing is not what you're doing. Yeah, we want to see how it works for you before I do it. No, that's a serious matter right there. Because how it works for me, yeah, maybe not necessarily how it's work for you. What you need to find out, or what we all need to find out, is how did you get it to work for you? Train, you can teach give a man a fish, but he can eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he can eat for the rest of his life. So yeah, you might be seeing me eating my fish now, but yeah, I was taught how to fish. I just didn't, maybe I got a fish and that I ate that off a long time ago. I realized that I need more to eat, so I went and got training. So that's the thing, people, folks always, oh, I'm gonna watch and see how that's working out for you. Why not get in the game and let us all work together? And your game, and everybody has a different game, but it's a big game. There's a lot of different um, um, games, types of games, should say. So it doesn't matter which type of game you play as long as you get in the game, right? And play. Don't just sit and look, learn the game, the rules of the game, and play the game. And it's just, this is how life is, because it's a lot of games. Soccer, football, netball, basketball, rugby, ice hockey, so many things that you can get yourself involved in terms of that sports. Okay. But think about other things. And so all of us need, okay, we made a choice. So we decided that this is what are we going to do. We got to learn some things. Doctors go training, they have to learn. Look how many years that is spent for somebody to actually be coming out and trying to diagnose your condition. They have to spend a lot of years studying those things in the medical field, and they come out. Now you go to them and you rely on them, you trust them to diagnose your case, your situation. But they didn't spend 1 year, 2 years. They spent however many years, 7, 10 years, maybe more. But for us, some of us, we don't even want to spend 5 minutes. We don't want to spend a day. We don't want to spend 2 weeks. We don't want to spend a month trying to learn the rules of the game that we're trying to play. And then when we get in the game and we can play the game, now we blame it that, oh, it's all of them and all of that and all of that, right? but we got to turn that on the inside. I mean, think about, were you really ready for that game? And so the practice session that the writer is talking about, that's what he's talking about. We've got, yeah, that's it over, because we should be practicing long time. Time to play, time to play, time to play, time to get in the game and do something and, make something happen. All right. So I won't keep you long now. I know you got to go to bed. But I'm going to bed too. But, or maybe you're waking up wherever part you are in the world. But he said, we cannot allow ourselves to dwell upon the risk of every opportunity, right? Instead, we must seize the opportunity, hmm, that is inherent in every risk. He said, knowing that we must sometimes run the risk of going too far in order to discover how far we really can go. All right. So that's all for tonight. Now, wherever you are on the Big Blue Marble, and for those of you watching and listening, yeah, practice time is over. If you're an adult, getting into adulthood, yeah, should have been practicing. Time to play the game, because we cannot wait for it to be too late. You know, on the last minute, stuff happens because, we really are here operating in this world, having dominion and authority over what the Creator has given us. But at the same time, He made us in His life, and He has plans. And so why don't we have plans? We need to always put some things in place so stuff don't catch us off guard anymore. If it did, I'll say anymore. And if it didn't, kudos. And we all need to, yeah, invest in ourselves, invest in other things, and let things work for us. It's not like in the 60s when, we didn't have these things available to us. Now we got a lot of, not only, I wouldn't say opportunities, but resources, and we need to be a little more frugal with, with our money and with the things that we can get do, and to make our life and build a lifestyle that we want. So I always say, I did this thing some time ago. It's no use standing and complaining at the complaining stand, because all you're going to do is attract more complainers. That's not what you want. You got to step away, because you want people to take action with you. Take yourself taking action. It's all about taking action and getting to the next level, to one step at a time. All right. Good night. Now, for those of you who we're gonna be watching the replay, remember, I come in this community once per week and we share anything. Tonight was just a night. I was reading this book before I go to bed, and I thought I'll share, because I thought it was really interesting. The writer's words of wisdom here, that practice session is over. This is serious time. And so we need to get in and play the game, because we're all participants in the game of life. All right, my friends. So nice talking with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, everybody's in a different time zone. So you might be just waking up, and now some are getting ready to go to bed. But whatever it is, have a great night. Have a great weekend. Whatever it is, love upon yourself, your family, and you be well. And I'll see you next Friday. Okay? All right. Bye bye. Okay, what's going on here? Come on. Oh my goodness.